That's right, Karen. And you know, unfortunately, there's still an awful lot that we do not know, particularly when it comes to the extent of the injuries. The person who passed away has not yet been identified. None of that information has been forthcoming from authorities yet. What I can tell you is that the strip mall where this shooting happened remains closed as investigators continue to look into the cause of this shooting. Now, because the other side of the street is actually unincorporated Willowbrook, it is the DuPage County Sheriff's that is in charge of the investigation. A spokesperson for the department telling us earlier that they still have not identified the people responsible for what happened. Dozens of shell casings litter the parking lot inside this strip mall in unincorporated Willowbrook today, where shortly after midnight, at least 23 people were shot, one of them fatally, in what investigators describe as a peaceful Juneteenth gathering turned violent.
Victims were taken to multiple hospitals in DuPage, Cook, and Will counties. The ages and conditions of victims are not available at this time. The motive behind this incident is unclear.
This woman, who did not want to be identified, says she was there when the gunfire erupted.
Everybody started running. There was a man, he fell on top of me. He had a gunshot wound in his leg. It was like something you won't imagine.
According to sheriff's deputies, they were monitoring the gathering, which began around 6 p.m. in the vicinity of Hinsdale Lake Terrace at Honeysuckle Lane and Route 83. Called away briefly to respond to a 911 call nearby, deputies heard the gunshots and immediately returned.
And out of nowhere, it was like a major gunfight for like 30 seconds. I'd say 60 plus, rounds. And you could tell it was like two different, groups of people shooting at each other.
Those living across the street from the scene say this particular strip mall has, in recent years, attracted similar ad hoc gatherings.
I would estimate there was probably 150 cars or so, all the way from one end of the parking lot to the next, and probably 300 to 400 people. It's just one of these probably social media things where everybody gets together and it just balloons into that. I've talked to the police in the past, DuPage County and Burr Ridge, and every time they said they were going to be able to do something or try to do something about it.
Now, at this point, the spokesperson for the DuPage County Sheriff's Department tells us that they are still in the process of interviewing witnesses as well as those who were injured and gathering any surveillance video that may lead them to the people responsible for this shooting.
Watch breaking news on YouTube.